Hey, I'm Mark Walker. I'm the designer of Knight of Man and the owner of Flying Pig Games. I want to take a few minutes to show you how to play Knight of Man, maybe walk you through about half a turn. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a second to talk about a typical Knight of Man counter. Right here we have the Earth Militia counter. This number up in the top left, the -1, is the targeting modifier. You add that to the card draw when you're attacking a vehicle. -1 means they're not too accurate, they have kind of a short range. The number down here over this piece of armor plating is a red asterisk. If there was a number there, it would indicate the armor, but Earth Militia doesn't have any armor. Some of them don't even have a shirt. Up here in your top right over the bullet hole is their armor piercing factor. Now, the higher that is, the more likely they have to pierce a enemy vehicle's armor. In this case, it's not very likely because all they got is some old law rockets. Right here is the HE factor. In Earth Militia's case, it's a 1. The movement factor, which is 3 squares. Now, there's also 2 other interesting icons on this counter. Right here is a melee icon. That means they can enter melee. Not all units can. And it has a plus on it, which means they not only can enter melee, but they get an additional 1 to their firepower. And then here is the explosive rounds icon. That means that if you fire with this unit, with a card that says power on it, you get +2 to the HE. Those cards are rarer, but they make this unit more powerful. Welcome to a turn of Knight of Man. At each turn, both sides are given 4 cards. At the beginning of the turn, the 2 sides bid to see who's going to get the initiative. Now, obviously, I'm showing you the cards face up so you can see what I'm doing. The cards you have is not known to the person that you're playing. Okay, so let's go ahead and bid for initiative. We'll say that we'll say this for giggles. The Earth Militia is going to bid this card, the first fire critical hit. The only number that matters is the number that's down in the bottom left block. That number is compared to whatever the alien would bid. For in this example, let's say the alien bid this move and fire rally card that has an 8. The Earth Militia has a 10, the alien has an 8, the Earth Militia gets the initiative. Now, the thing is that if you win the initiative, you have to discard the card that you bid. The player with the lower card gets to keep theirs. Gives them a small advantage and sort of mitigates the circumstance. Okay, so right now the Earth Militia has 3 cards left. It's their turn. Bam. First thing they're going to do, they're going to play a fire card. That allows any number of units to fire on 1 target. Okay? So we're going to take this militia unit right here just to make it easy. He has 1 HE firepower. He's going to shoot at this alien unit right there, 1 square away. Now, on the HE range modifier table, you see that if you're 1 to 2 squares away, you get an additional 1 firepower. So, the infantry unit firing against them gets 2 firepower. For each firepower, you draw a card. You consult the bottom right box. If it says hit, like this one does, he's hit. So that's 1 hit on the alien. Here we have a hit with an asterisk. That means it only counts as a hit if it's in melee. So a total of 1 hit. The first hit shakes. The infantry unit's marked fired. The cards that was played and the cards used to resolve it are put in the discard pile. It's the alien's turn. The alien would draw up to 4 cards, but it already has 4 cards. Okay, so the first thing that the alien's going to do is return favor. They're going to fire back on this same militia unit. They play a fire card. They get 2 firepower from that alien, plus 1 from the table, as we just saw, for the range, which is a total of 3, plus 2 more, which is 5. You don't get the range modifier for any subsequent units. And they're also going to play Bullet Storm, a support card, which gives them 1 more firepower. So they have a total of 6 firepower. Lucky for the militia, they're in a building. That gives them 2 cover, which is subtracted from the firepower. So it's a total of 4 firepower. Just like in the Earth Militia's turn, that means 4 card draws. The first one is a hit. The next one is a hit. That's 2 hits. The next one is a hit. That's 3 hits, and that kills the Earth Militia, and there's no sense to draw anymore. Now, actually, that was a very lucky play for the aliens. The hits aren't that frequent, but it worked in this one. So the Earth Militia goes away. The aliens are marked fired. It's back to Earth Militia's turn. They draw 2 cards. And decide they're going to play a move and fire card. Move and fire allows a unit to move up to half and then fire, in the case of HE firepower, with 1 less HE firepower. So the Earth Militia moves from here to here, fires on that alien unit again. Okay, notice he would have 1 firepower, minus 1 because it's moving firepower would be 0. But then he gets a plus 1 because of the range. So he gets to draw 1 card. Looks in a box and it's another hit. I'm telling you guys, the hits don't always come like this. But that means that the alien is flipped over to showing the reduced side, and since he both moved and fired, the Earth Militia unit is marked ops complete. Alright, let's take a minute to talk about vehicle combat in Knight of Man. Really, it's pretty simple. You take the distance between the attacker and the defender, or the firer and the target. In this case, let's say an alien destroyer tank is firing on this Abrams tank. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares away. You draw a card and you look in the 2-hit block, and if the number drawn is equal to or higher than the range, you've hit the tank. Now that's the most simple form. Let me show you exactly how it works. So this destroyer wants to attack that Abrams. It's the alien's turn. They play a fire card and say, I'm going to fire my destroyer on that Abrams. Like we said, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares away. The Abrams gets a +1 target modifier for being up on the hill. That's added to the range. So that makes the range 8 squares. But the destroyer's targeting modifier of 4 is subtracted from the range, so it goes back down to 4. So now they're going to draw a card. All they need is a 4 or higher, and they hit. They draw a 10, so they hit. Now you got to figure out if that shot penetrated and blew up the Abrams. It's just about as simple. Jessica, can you zoom in on that? So, you take the armor piercing factor of the destroyer, which is 6 there, compare it to the armor factor of the Abrams, plus a card draw. If the armor piercing factor plus the card draw is equal to or greater than the Abrams armor factor, you destroy the Abrams. But wait a second. The Earth Militia player says, I'm going to play glancing shot. That's going to subtract 2 from any card draw. Pretty cool, and that's part of the interaction in the game. So we have armor piercing of 6, armor of 4, the card draw a -2 in addition to the card draw, boom, you don't have a number. Normally there's a number there. This particular card says shake, so what that means is an automatic shaken result on the tank. Let's draw another card and see what that one would have said. That one would have been a 1. So 1 -2 because of the glancing shot would have been a -1. So a 6 armor factor, armor piercing factor, -1 is 5. Compared to the Abrams armor factor of 4, the 5 is greater than the 4, so the Abrams flipped over, it's destroyed. And that is all there is to armored combat in Night of Man.